example. So we are taking basic one, example number one, and in example number one, we are taking, let's suppose mass is equals to 400 grams and specific heat capacity specific heat capacity is 4.2 joules per gram degree Celsius. So this is the SI unit of specific heat capacity. Third, we have initial temperature. So initial temperature of the body is 25 degrees Celsius and the final temperature is 60 degrees Celsius. And the question is you have to find out the heat required. Question is find the heat required to raise this temperature.
Sir, when you wrote specific heat capacity, why did you write J and G? Like, what's that for? What does that stand for?
Okay, so basically when we are writing quantities, so definitely we have SI units with them, right? Like in this formula, when we talk about heat, so heat can be measured in joules. So I'm also writing over here that for heat, joules is the unit for heat. Like when we are going to measure or when we are going to find out the value of heat, so it means we are taking that value in joules. Just like for mass, we used to take mass in kg. In standard units like SI units, so we use some basic standard units for all the quantities. And for temperature, you already observed that we are using degree Celsius. That is already very common thing we use in our daily life. So when you write down all the quantities, so specific heat capacity is a different one, right? That is not common in our daily life. We use heat in our daily life, we use mass in our daily life, we use temperature, but we are not using specific heat capacity in our daily lives, right? So this is a drive quantity actually from these three. So when you are going to write down the SI unit for this specific heat capacity, so that is equals to, so the unit of a specific heat capacity is equals to, you can see joules is on the top in numerator. So you will write joules. In short form, we use J, that is for joules, divided by mass can be measured in SI with kg, system international unit, and temperature is degree Celsius. So in short, this unit can be written as joules slash kg degree Celsius, or you can also write like this, joules kg minus 1 degree Celsius minus 1. Because when you are shifting values from denominator to numerator, right, you can see kg and Celsius are in denominator and you are moving that value in numerator. Like there is no slash in second option, this one. So that's why we have to use negative values like negative powers because they are shifted towards the other place. Okay.
Sir, the most easy and usually used one is the first one.
Yes, it's up to you. You can write any one of your choice.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just wait for Azan over here to complete, then we will solve that question. If you want, you may solve by yourself. Formula is in front of you, question is in front of you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, maybe you got confused in one thing that we used to write kg in our formula for mass, but in example one, mass is given in grams, right? So if your mass in your question is given in grams, like you can see, mass is given in grams, and specific heat capacity, the unit of a specific heat capacity is also in grams. This is gram, this is gram. So you don't need to convert or you don't need to get confused in this thing that why we are using gram in this. Because this value is used to be like performed in lab at a small level. At micro level, we are not performing with the kg of masses. We are only performing with grams. We are taking short masses, small masses, so it can be performed quickly. So that's why mostly you will get the values in grams, right? So if you have same unit in your whole question, like we have grams in mass, we have grams in specific heat capacity, so it is okay. But if you will get different quantity, so how to solve that part? So we will discuss in next question. Okay. So for this one, solution is very simple. This is mass. This is the value of C, and this is initial like T1, and this is final T2, right? So now we can easily use the formula. And the important thing is we have to shuffle that formula also because they are asking about Q. Q is not given. So we have to find out the value of Q. So we have to use formula like C is equals to Q upon M delta T. So whenever we have to find out any unknown quantity, so shift that quantity on one side, make that quantity a subject, and shift all other values on the other side. Like you can see, we have mass and time with Q, but we only required Q on one side, and we have to shift all other quantities on the other side. So this quantity of mass is like in denominator, like it is dividing Q. So when it is dividing Q on one side, so this mass will be shifted towards the other side in multiplication. In the same way, delta T is dividing Q on this side. So it will multiply with C on the other side. So this is a mathematical calculation. In mathematics, we studied in equation that if something is going to be add on one side, so on the other side, it will be subtracted if you shift that quantity on other side, right? For example, if you have A plus B is equals to C. So let's suppose if you have to shift B on other side, so it will be shifted like this. A is equals to C minus B because B is in addition with A. So on the other side, it will convert it into negative sign. And when it again come back to the side of A, so it will again become A plus B. So in the same way, when something is multiplying or dividing with someone, so on the other side, you will get reverse idea. Like if something is multiplying with any quantity on one side, so it will be dividing on the other side. Okay. So in the same way, when you shift M and T on the other side, so you will get M delta T into C is equals to Q. So now you can see Q is an individual quantity and now you can easily find out the value of Q. So Q is equals to the value of mass 400 and the temperature. Temperature is final minus initial because we discussed delta T is equals to T2 minus T1. And the value of C is 4.2. So when we subtract the values, so you will get answer 60 minus 25 is equals to 35 multiplied by 4.2. So now we just multiply all the quantities and you will get answer 58,800. And as we already discussed, the SI unit for heat is joules. As we discussed over here, SI unit of heat is joule. So we just simply write J and this is your answer. Okay. Any confusion? Any question?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
No, sir.
So in this way, if you have confusion in shifting the values, so you may ask that one, or you may practice like 2, 3 questions by yourself in the same way by shifting the values. So then you will get idea how to shuffle values. Okay, so I'm giving you a question as a homework, so you may solve and send in answers in the group after the class or like whenever you got free. So you just solve those that question and send me the answer. Then I will give you some more questions as a homework in the group, right? So before next class, you may solve that questions for specific heat capacity. So example number 2 and example number 2 is again we are taking mass. Mass is equals to 200 grams.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, this is example number 2 is our homework.
yes. I will also
Yes, sir.
send this file in the group. So if you are not able to write down the question, you may just take the screenshot of it or just take picture after because at 1:20 there is also another class of grade 10. So you may solve this question in homework or like after the class when you got free and just send the answers in the group. So I will check your answers and let you know that is it correct or there is some improvement needed in that question. So initial temperature again is 25 degrees Celsius and heat supplied is 10,000 joules. So these are all the values and what you have to calculate the final temperature. Calculate the final temperature of water. So this is your question. You may take a screenshot or if you are writing the question. So you will get this question.